Good morning to meteorologist Cheetah Craft tracking Category 2 Hurricane Agatha. This is in the Pacific, expected to make landfall this evening. Now, this is the thing. Remember that the Pacific Basin and the Atlantic Basin have two different lists of names. So in the Pacific, it's Hurricane Agatha. When this source of moisture crosses over Mexico, even in the Bay of Campeche or in the Caribbean, it would then actually take on the name Alex. Alex is the first name on the list for the Atlantic Basin. Also, hurricane season doesn't officially begin until Wednesday, June 1st. This is a little ahead of schedule. It is moving in a northeast direction around 6 miles per hour. Notice just south of Acapulco. Is expected to make landfall tonight as a Category 2 hurricane. And then immediately after making landfall, it will continue to weaken. And that's because of the land interaction. It's really tough for these hurricanes or even tropical storms to sustain themselves over land. So it should move pretty quickly, moving into the southeastern portion of the Bay of Campeche, closing in on the Yucatan probably by Wednesday. So we'll be watching this moisture here over about the next 48 hours. Big look at the tropics as far as that area of moisture. So Agatha, once it moves across Mexico, notice even once it has more land interaction with the Yucatan, that's going to make it even more difficult to see development. So at this point, only a 40% chance of development from the National Hurricane Center over the next 5 days. Notice over the next 2 days, 0. So we need this to make landfall. We'll see how this does with the land interaction. Then once it re-enters into water, how long it stays in the water. Water temperatures are well warm enough to support development, but once it moves across the Yucatan, that would shred it basically apart once again. Let me put this into a forecast motion so you can see this moisture. Once it moves across Mexico, then it has that land interaction with the Yucatan, and I'm going to stop this around Saturday, and this is when most of the moisture is going to hug the coast right along Central and South Florida. So no impacts expected along the Texas coastline, and even really at that, it's mainly towards Florida. At this point, that risk of development is extremely low. We need to watch it because the water temperatures are warm enough and the upper level winds really aren't that strong. So that will also support development. It's just also the land interaction with Yucatan. So both of those are going to probably limit what could develop, but the water temperatures are definitely warm enough to support that. So that'll move towards Florida. That's expected to move across Central and South Florida through the upcoming weekend, and then it's basically out of here. So hurricane season officially begins on Wednesday. We are forecasting above average storm names, so make sure this time of the year you keep it close to the forecast.